Sexmoan. Sexmoan? Did you know that such a town exists? Mabuhay, or in Kapampangan, luwid kayo. Today's question comes from Jake of Colorado. Jake asked, what can you tell us about a town called Sexmoan in the Philippines? First of all, there is no such town called Sexmoan in the Philippines. It is actually pronounced as Sexmoan, not Sexmoan, but Sexmoan. And up to 1991, the town of Sexmoan in Pampanga, Philippines was spelled as Sexmoan, or Sexmoan, which was the Spanish spelling of the indigenous Kapampangan name for the town, Sexmoan. And despite the spelling Sexmoan, Sexmoan was still pronounced as Sexmoan. However, the Americans who occupied the Philippines after the Spaniards following the brutal Philippine-American War found it scandalous to see such a town called Sexmoan. And their ignorance led to the negative sexual connotations towards the town and its people. It was only in 1991 when the people of the town of Sexmoan unanimously voted to officially change the spelling of the town from the Spanish Sexmoan to the present-day spelling of Sexmoan, or Sasmuan. So in a way, it was meant to reconnect the town to its indigenous Kapampangan roots by going back to the more indigenous spelling of Sexmoan. But practically, it is also a way to get away from all the negative sexual connotations attributed to the town that was caused by ignorance, American colonial ignorance. But I bet you're wondering, what does Sexmoan really mean? Sexmoan comes from the Kapampangan word sesmo, which means to meet or to gather, or the agreed upon place to meet. And according to the Kapampangan historian Mariano Henson, Sexmoan was used to mean the meeting place of the Datus. Because, according to Henson, it was in this place in what is now the town of Sexmoan where the Datus, or the local rulers and nobility, and their warriors would meet in times of war. It was their meeting place before engaging in battle against their enemies. But also, according to the historical records of colonial Philippines, such as the Conquista de las Islas Filipinas by Gaspar de San Agustin, the town of Sexmoan was also the location of the royal granary. It was the place where the grains were gathered from the vast Provincia de la Pampanga, or what is now Central Luzon, Philippines, before being transported to the capital, Manila. Because back then, the vast colonial province of Pampanga, which now includes the present-day provinces of Pampanga, Tarlac, parts of Bataan, parts of Bulacan, parts of Nueva Ecija, and others, was the breadbasket that fed and sustained the colony. It was said that if the harvest, if the crops in Pampanga failed, the entire city of Manila and other cities would starve. So Sexmoan played an important role in gathering food from all parts of Pampanga, or what is now Central Luzon, to feed the colony. But if we dig deeper, according to the elders, to the Kapampangan elders, to the oral traditions, and as supported by the town's own geography, Sexmoan is also the meeting place of the rivers. It is where the many rivers of Indung Kapampangan would meet, where the great rivers of Central Luzon would converge before flowing out to Manila Bay. In fact, the land of Sexmoan, the physical land where the town of Sexmoan stands, exists because of the silt, or in Kapampangan, the banli, or in other words, the soil and the sandbanks that was left behind by the tides that gathered over thousands of years to form the foundations of the present-day town of Sexmoan. And if you look at the map, Sexmoan appears to be an island surrounded by rivers and deltas, similar to the island of Manhattan in New York City. Sexmoan is also one of the oldest known settlements that Kapampangan people have called home for centuries, if not for thousands of years. It sits at the mouth of the great Indung Kapampangan River that quite literally gave life to the pre-colonial civilizations and continues to sustain the people of Central Luzon to this day. And that is it for me today. See you next time, or in Tagalog, kita kits, and in Kapampangan, mikitiks. If you like this video, if you learned a thing or two, help me create more videos like this. Check out my Patreon page and be my patron. Takal pong salamat.